They laughed at my boots, not knowing those same boots funded everything they admired that night.
I learned a long time ago that people judge quickly and listen slowly, especially when your hands look like they've done real work. I never tried to correct them. It wasn't my job to educate strangers about my life. At my sister-in-law's wedding, I showed up exactly as I always did: clean jeans, polished work boots, and a pressed shirt without a jacket. My wife looked at me the way someone looks at a problem they don't feel like fixing. "Are you really wearing that?" she asked, already embarrassed. I smiled. "It's a wedding, not a costume party." She sighed and walked ahead of me, her heels clicking with irritation. I followed, hands in my pockets, already sensing how the day would go. The venue was expensive in a loud way. White chairs, crystal glasses, people dressed like wealth was something you had to prove. I blended into the background easily, men like me always do. During the reception, the groom's father took the microphone. He was a man who liked hearing his own voice, the kind who confused confidence with importance. He made a joke about real success and then glanced right at me. "Some people," he said, smiling broadly, "are perfectly happy staying. Practical, hard-working types, salt of the earth." Laughter followed, polite at first, then louder. My wife laughed too. Not nervously, comfortably. "That's my husband," she added to the people at her table. "He's proud of being simple." Something settled in my chest, not anger, not shame, clarity. I didn't interrupt. I didn't correct anyone. I just sipped my drink and listened. People reveal who they are when they think you're beneath them. What no one there knew was that I owned the company that had financed half the renewable infrastructure contracts the Groom's father's firm depended on, not publicly, not loudly. Through a holding structure so boring it put people to sleep when they heard the name. Power doesn't need applause. It needs discretion. Later that evening, I received an email I'd been expecting. Final approval, audit completed, action authorized. I walked over to the groom quietly and showed him my phone. I didn't explain, I didn't threaten, I just let him read. His face changed instantly. Confusion, fear, understanding. He excused himself, pulled his father aside, and spoke in a low, urgent voice. The laughter around them faded as people noticed the shift in the room. The man who'd been mocking me moments earlier now looked unsteady, like the ground had moved without warning. I stayed where I was. The truth doesn't need a stage. Within minutes, whispers replaced the music. People glanced at me differently now, recalculating. Not because I had said anything, but because silence had said enough. My wife approached, her smile tight, her eyes searching my face. "What's going on?" she asked. I met her gaze calmly. "Nothing you need to worry about tonight." That answer unsettled her more than any argument would have. The drive home was quiet. After a long time, she finally spoke, her voice sharp with accusation. "You humiliated him." "No," I said evenly. "He humiliated himself." "You could have stopped it." "I did, eventually." She turned toward me, her face a mix of confusion and anger. "Why didn't you ever tell me who you really are?" I kept my eyes on the road. "You never asked. And every time you joked about me, you made it clear you preferred the version of me that made you feel superior." Silence followed, heavy, honest. The next few days were uncomfortable. News traveled fast in the circles she cared about. People who once dismissed me suddenly wanted meetings. Apologies, clarifications. I declined most of them. At home, the shift was harder. She struggled with the idea that the man she'd minimized for years had chosen silence, not weakness. That realization hurt her more than any public embarrassment. "I didn't mean it like that," she said one night, her voice soft. "But you did it like that," I replied. We talked more in the weeks that followed than we had in years, real conversations, uncomfortable ones. About respect. About how familiarity can rot into contempt if it's left unchecked. Some marriages survive moments like that. Some don't. Ours changed. Permanently. She stopped mocking. I stopped pretending it didn't hurt. Whether that was enough, time would decide. What I learned from that wedding wasn't about revenge or validation. It was about restraint. About knowing your worth so deeply that you don't need to announce it. People laughed at my boots. But those same boots built everything they admired once the truth came out. And I still wear them. Thanks for listening to this story. If it resonated with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this. See you in the next one.